Welcome everyone to Life Lessons from Movies, presented by my organization, The Zen of Hollywood, and me, your host, David McKay. In this segment, we extract life lessons from movies and then use simple and practical tips to help us improve our lives and become happier, which I believe we all desire. Okay, today's theme is the kingdom of God is within, and we'll examine this all-important topic within this film called Mary Magdalene, a good film starring Rooney Mara and Joaquin Phoenix. Please know there are spoilers ahead. Okay, this film takes place in the ancient kingdom of Judea in the year 33 AD, and it focuses on this woman named Mary from the village of Magdala. And Mary is a person who doesn't conform to the traditions and customs of her people. In fact, her father has arranged for her to be married, but Mary rebels against that. And then at the same time, she hears of this man who's teaching these revolutionary ideas, perhaps a prophet and certainly a healer. And when she goes to see him and sees his miracles, she's transfixed. And everything that he says resonates with Mary. So Mary decides to follow Jesus, right, with the other apostles. Well, we know what happens is eventually they go to Jerusalem where Jesus is crucified. But Jesus rises from the dead, and Mary is the first to witness Jesus. She sees him, runs back to the apostles, right? Remember that scene where she goes to tell them the good news? And at first the apostles are in disbelief. They can't believe it. In fact, they're all preparing for the future, especially Peter, who talks about the coming kingdom of God, the kingdom of God that will come and transform the world for the better. And remember what Mary said? She says, you have it all wrong. You misinterpreted what Jesus said. Jesus said that the kingdom of God is here and now. And Peter's like, what are you talking about? If you go outside the door, there's just as much chaos and oppression as there was before. Nothing has changed. And Mary says, no, it's the kingdom of God is here and now within us. So let's talk about this. What is really the kingdom of God? Well, in terms of Eastern wisdom traditions, it's pure consciousness or unity consciousness. In fact, everything that happens on the material plane, all events, all people, happen within this pure consciousness. It comes out of this pure consciousness or the kingdom of God, right? Nothing exists outside of it. So the kingdom of God is really the ground of all existence. Okay. Now, also in that one scene, Mary talks about how changes in the outer world must reflect changes in the inner world. That if we really want to see changes, we have to change ourselves, she said. We have to release the anger and resentment, for example, that we might be holding on to. Now, this reflects another truth, that we all have individual minds, of course. And in our minds, we have positive and negative energy. But the thing is, each of these minds contribute to what's called the one mind. And the one mind is responsible for projecting everything that exists on the material plane. If we work backwards, we can put it this way, that everything that exists is a projection of the one mind, which is a combination of all of our individual minds. So all the negative energy that we see in the world, as well as the positive energy, comes from all of our accumulative energies from our individual minds. So for example, if we look at terrorism or environmental destruction or corruption or warfare, all of those are a product of all of us. Not just a small group of individuals, which we have a tendency to believe. So if we want to do away with terrorism, for example, we need to do away with the terrorism in each and every one of us. Now, I don't mean to say that we're all individual terrorists, but we carry that energy to some degree. The energy of fear, the energy of hatred, even to a small extent, shame, anger. All of these negative energies feed this dynamic of terrorism. So we have to take a look at ourselves. Jesus was basically saying through this crucifixion that, hey, you can spit on me, mock me, injure me, and even kill my body, but my spirit lives on. That's the message that we all need to internalize, that we all have a part of us that never dies. And that, of course, is our divine essence, the kingdom of God within. So if we really want to transform ourselves as well as the world and live happier lives, reducing suffering, we need to acknowledge, embrace, and live from the kingdom of God within. So how can we do that? Number one, meditate. When we meditate, we connect directly with our divine essence, the kingdom of God. We put aside all of the ego layers, the ego mind that is constantly chattering, and we have a direct connection. And the more we do that, over time, we become transformed. And so meditation is critical. I can't emphasize that enough. Step number two, choose love over fear as much as you can. In the world, there's really only two decisions we can possibly make at any one time, love or fear. Either we're going against the universe, against the kingdom of God, against life, fear, or we're going with the flow. We're going in the direction. And so at any one time, we need to follow our hearts. Choose love over fear. That's not always easy, but that's step number two. Tip number three is look beyond the human facade of the people in our lives to the spirit within. That is, look for the kingdom of God in each individual, especially for those difficult people in our lives. We know that when people are unloving or do something inappropriate, we have to remember that they are in emotional pain and they don't know what to do with that pain, so they act it out. They end up taking it out on us and others. And so we can empathize with that because we've all been there. If we look to the spirit within, this will keep us from reacting, realizing that we're really all one. We all share the same kingdom of God, and that's going to bring us together in unity. So this is how you can acknowledge, embrace, and live from the kingdom of God so that we transform ourselves and the world and live better, happier lives. So what do you think about this movie and these life lessons? Feel free to leave comments below. And for more tips, movies, and life lessons, feel free to go to my website, thezenofhollywood.com. That's thezenofhollywood.com. And please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.